For what I've learned over the years, no matter what level of education that you might have, no matter how much money you might have, it matters as much when you know how to learn from your mistakes. And this week we might have learned that the hard way. My name is Greyson and that's what's up. Thank you so much for tuning in back to the channel. Before you leave, please make sure you subscribe down on the red button right there, and why not click on the notification button so you'll know whenever we post a new video. And if you like the video, why not leave a thumbs up? It would mean the world to me. So first of all, let's just have a moment of silence for all those people who had lost their loved ones or lost their lives during a recent accident back in the 20th of September this year. It's actually just last week. It was a very depressing scene, especially for the residents in Mwanza. So if you didn't know, this is what happened. We have this like a boat, like a ship that transfers people from a place called Ukerewe to Kisiwani, which is just like a route back and forth here and there. It's a normal route. If you live in Dar es Salaam, you can compare this route from Kivukoni to Kigamboni. So like it's just another transportation system that people like get used to over here. On this day, it was actually Thursday, there was a lot going on, especially on that island back there. It was a bidding day. Like, where I come from, we call it Mnada. So a lot of people were wanting to go there. And what makes this tragedy a whole lot worse is that someone should not have to die on their way back home or just on their way to buy something. It's just so depressing because I'm just trying to think of those people who went there thinking, I'm gonna buy this maybe for my family or for my friends or just for myself. They just didn't make it back, you know? There is a story about a mother who traveled with her baby strapped on her. She died and the baby died, still strapped on her. It's just a very painful moment, a very painful time for the entire country. There has been a mourning since Friday till today, Monday. I think tomorrow everything will go back to normal. People will be going to the offices. Let's just remember that there are people who will keep mourning because of the loved ones that they lost. So the mourning aside, I just want to put some things out straight that to me kind of felt like it hurt to a way that this was actually very avoidable, but we didn't avoid it. First of all, if it has not been said, that boat was way overloaded. There were more than 140 dead people who have been found. We're not even talking about those who haven't been found yet, or those who maybe the aquatic animals have taken away, because they do that sometimes. We haven't talked about the bodies that haven't been seen. We haven't talked about the bodies that have been washed off a different shore out there. It is so depressing. More than 140 people who have died, and not over 40 people that have actually survived this huge tragedy. Clearly the boat was overloaded. That's one. Two, the ship was only 100 meters away from shore when it sank. That's just 100 meters. It just proves to me, to you, and to us, we really don't have an on-time rescue team for water transportation and all that. One of the things that really did hurt me the most was when the rescue team was like, Nisanne, it's 10 p.m. so we're gonna stop rescuing. Excuse me, what? I mean, I'm not saying anything, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying they didn't have the reasons, but it's 10 p.m. so we're not gonna look for the bodies, we're not gonna look for one more person who's still alive out there because it's 10 p.m. I believe there was at least one person who was hoping someone would come and rescue them at 10 p.m. Wow. Lastly, I just want to address this to my fellow Tanzanians, especially those who live around Kivukoni or Kigamboni, where using that, they call it pantoni, the boat, it's very common. I've used that before. I've gone to Kigamboni once or twice, and I've noticed a clear pattern that has turned into some kind of tradition. When the boat is almost at its destination, like half or 3/4 of all the people just move to the front. They just go like super fast. Why? They want to be the first ones out, which is, I understand, it's okay, because it can get really frustrating when you can't get off the boat, and by the time you're getting off there's a whole mass coming back to you. So that's just like really dangerous, because you can get your phone stolen or your stuff stolen, or you just be really disoriented and you won't really understand a lot. But if we had a clear system of how these things work, managing the number of people going onto the boat, having lifeguards on the boat and standby at the shore, just in case anything happens, and a little discipline for ourselves as passengers to just wait till the boat has come to a complete end before we shove our faces down to the front. I'm getting really emotional right now, so I'll kind of stop, but I really wish whoever is listening right now, if you're just a citizen, just take an example and save a life. The next time you're on a ship or you're on a boat or you're in a yacht, just chill out, okay? Maybe we could save ourselves from another tragedy like this. Enough of that. I've got some juicy stuff for you guys that perhaps, maybe you have heard somewhere, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So there has been a lot of back talk and trash talk about the presents that Miss Tanzania, the Miss Tanzania, got for her so-called win. It was a car. It was a small car, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad car. It's a beautiful car. I don't have a car. She has a car, so already that's a game. So I can't talk a lot about that. But still, though, if we were to represent our Miss Tanzanian's car as a gift to other countries, I don't know what you would say. Just look at the car and tell me what you would say looking at that car representing your country. I'm not saying anything. But a lot of people have been saying a lot of things, especially, yes, this particular car, but also Miss Lake Zone's very well crafted car, I could say. It has an interesting look, if you will. It has Lake Zone all over, so whenever she drives, oh, there goes Miss Lake Zone. I mean, I don't know if she likes the privacy of her own car, she doesn't. She looks really happy with it. She gonna give a talk back saying you shouldn't judge her by her car, because hey, if you do, you better have a better one, because if you don't, she has a car and you don't. So that's an A+ for her. Although people are still saying like she's just saying that because she has no choice but to take it. I don't know if she's ever gonna drive it. And these two cars have actually been compared on social media, which has kind of brought a really bad look. I'm not saying that either one of them is better. They're both very good cars. I don't have a car. Putting that out there again. So if we're supposed to be real here, I'm not gonna be real, but I'm gonna let you be real down on the comments below. Why not tell me what you think about the cars that these beautiful women were given? The 4th runner-up and the Miss Tanzania 2018. Speaking of cars, earlier today, Soudy Brown and Shafi Dauda, along with some other people dressed in black and not really showing their faces, were escorted by police to court. If this is news to you, I'll tell you what happened. So the days back, there's been posting here and there of people dancing to the now more famous song by Mawasama, Iokote. One of the videos shown was a group, I can say 7 people, dancing to the song Iokote with Tanzanian shillings scattered all over the place. 10,000 notes all over the place, and which is actually kind of cool if you ask me. But turns out that is illegal. You're not supposed to do that because that's actually a real currency and it does stand as a felony to the country. Ouch, okay. I didn't know that. I'm glad I knew that before I actually did that. Thank you. So a few days back, Mawasama and Soudy Brown were actually taken to police and facing a lot of charges. But today, a group of people whose faces were masked almost completely. The only faces that were actually recognizable was Shafi Dauda and Soudy Brown entering court. The rest were just like in black, so most of them weren't actually recognized. But with a little bit of explanation, the people were identified as Shafi Dauda, Michael Sylvester, Benedict Felix, Anthony Lungamu, Soudy Brown, and John Misingu. So these people were actually taken to court because they operated online radios, online televisions, and blog sites that portrayed news without being registered to TCRA. I do understand how this was easily misconceived as the initial case that involved Mawasama, but in actual fact it's not. It's just another law-breaking matter. Personally, I didn't think it was actually a big deal till now. Needless to be said, these people are facing some real heat right now and it's bad publicity for the stars involved. Regardless of this, some people are comparing what those people did in that video with Diamond Karanga's commercial of his products. the two superstars Diamond and Rayvani are seen around with a lot of 10,000 shilling bills, and at some points even raining 10,000 shilling bills. So I don't know if that is really okay. Maybe that one that was used there was actually fake, so they took account to the national policy, or in a way they just let it slide. You let me know in the comments down below. And on addition to that, one of Rayvani's posts did show him sweeping off a lot of 10,000 shilling bills. I wouldn't mind any of those. I mean, you can sweep them to my house. Please sweep them to my house. And that's what's up. The country's in mourning, Miss Tanzania and Miss Lake Zone are biting back, and some of our favorite superstars are facing major legal issues.
Kuwa karibu na matukio ya burudani, gossip, lifestyle, michezo na mengine ya kufurahisha kwa kujiunga na SNS Sparking Conversation.